Hi, so I wanted to give you a rundown on week 4B as well and make sure that I gave you as clear an understanding as possible of what's coming up, especially because there's an exam this week. So we want to be clear on what's happening there. So let's go ahead and share the screen. So there isn't a long explanation of exams on the syllabus here, but it says two exams, 80 points each will be given. These exams will cover lectures and readings. So the notes on the lectures and notes on the readings, the information enclosed in those is what the exam is on. But more specifically, if we want to take a look at that, we can go here to exam one, and that's on lectures 2 to 16. So it opens Monday. And it closes Sunday, June 29th at 11:59. So it opened Monday at midnight and closes Sunday, June 29th at 11:59. And so at the end of week 3B, there's an exam one review notes. And so we can open that up and I can share my screen there. Yes, so the exam one review, that should give you the clarity you need. So it starts here with the overview of the Bible, first two sections, Old Testament translated to Greek, etc. Then the New Testament structure, lecture two, overview of the Bible, term for anointed one. Um, then the formulation of the New Testament, and it just kind of goes on from there. So these are the review notes that'll help you to make sure that you're prepared for the exam, to make sure that you have the information that you need. And so I definitely would encourage you to go through those again because that'll help you big time. And then obviously, once again, we have a discussion board. So let's take a look at that. So that is due Saturday, June 28th at 11:59, and you can do either the first option here or the second one. So do you believe that everyone will be saved or a select few? And then according to the New Testament, what does the term salvation mean? Saved from what? So very interesting questions there. I won't try to sway your opinions. I'll let you decide however you want to consider those. And then once again, -1 point for every day that a post is late. Um, and then, yeah, only choose one of the options and make sure your response is a minimum of 100. Make sure your personal response, your first one, is 150 words. So then you have the reading guide and then lectures 20 to 21, reading guide. And then you can open that there. And then the quiz opened Monday, uh, June 23rd at midnight, and it'll close Sunday at 11:59, June 29th. So once again, two attempts and 3 minutes. If you need to talk to me about that, we can work something out. But in general, it's two attempts and 3 minutes. And you have lecture 20 notes, lecture 20, lecture 21 notes. Let's just take a look at that real quick. So this is Paul and his theology. And so here are the notes for lecture 20, or lecture 21, excuse me. And it goes through things like the disputed and undisputed letters, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Philippians, 1st Timothy, Philemon, etc., etc. So that's how that works. So let's go back here. So you have the reading quiz. Once again, that's 2 attempts, 3 minutes, and it closes Sunday, the 29th at 11:59. And then we have the first exam that we already mentioned. And that is, it's important that you complete the review notes from a review lecture at the end of week 3B. So it'll give you the review notes and it'll actually walk you through, like I showed you, it'll walk you through the information you need for the exam. Lectures 2 to 16 is what you're looking at for the first exam. Time limit of 35 minutes, and you get 2 attempts, and it's the highest grade is the grading method. So the higher grade that you get will be the one that you receive, and then the grade to pass is 51 out of 80. So you need a 51 to pass the exam. And then finally, the MAP 1 test, that closes Sunday, June 29th as well at 11:59 p.m. You get 10 minutes on that, 2 attempts. And that one is going to be first attempt. I'm going to have to, once again, if you need further clarification on that, let me know. So that's the MAP 1 test, and let's take a look at the syllabus on that. Well, that didn't work. Let's try again. There we go. Okay. So the map test will be due in conjunction with the 2 major exams. You will be required to identify specific locations on the 2 maps provided. Each map test will be 20 points. So you're supposed to make sure that you're identifying the different spots on the map that go along with the New Testament, and each map test is 20 points. And you get 2 attempts, and you get 10 minutes for each one. Once again, if this and the exam, if we need to figure out some other arrangement, let me know. But otherwise, the general rule is 2 attempts and 10 minutes for each one. So that is the gist of week 4B. It's kind of a lot. I would recommend you definitely get started early on everything so that you're able to stick with it. Because that is a lot to get done. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, that's about all I have for now. Thanks so much.